Floriole. I'm Sandra Hall. We specialize in French rustic pastries. We also do some American things like peanut butter and jelly cookies and chocolate cake, things like that. But we kind of started with rustic French grandma-style pastries. And we're going to talk about croissants today. We, here at Floriole, we make sour croissants. So we use a little bit of sourdough starter in our croissants, and that gives it a little bit more of a shelf life. It stays moist longer, and it gives it a little bit of a zing in flavor. So I think that's what makes ours special. We start out the process of making the croissants by mixing the dough. So this is the starter and the milk and the yeast. We're going to add this to the mixer, and then we're going to add our flour. I already had the sugar, salt, and butter in the mixer. Then we're just going to put this guy on here. And let it do its thing. And that's good. So we let the dough stay pretty shaggy, not very mixed, because as it's being laminated, the gluten is going to be more developed. We start with a pretty lean dough, and then we roll in about 30% of that weight in butter. We use European-style butter, so that has a higher fat content than just your regular butter that you get at the store. It is unsalted, of course. So all this will get rolled into here, but first we have to flatten it out. So the most important part when you're doing the lamination, that's when you're rolling in the butter, is to make sure that your dough is thoroughly chilled and your butter is malleable. So if your butter is too greasy, it's going to spurt out the sides. If it's too hard, it's going to break into lots of different bits as you roll out your dough. And we're just looking for even coverage. That should be pretty good. Okay, so I think that should fit, so we're gonna... People do different amounts of turns on croissants. We do 4 turns, and we do a letterful. So we want to kind of shock it in the freezer to make the yeast stop doing what yeast do. Then we let it sit there for a few hours, and then we take it out and put it in the walk-in refrigerator overnight to come back up to temperature. So when we come in the morning, it's ready to get rolled out and made into croissants. So when you're baking croissants, one of the most important things is letting the croissant proof enough. And so proofing, kind of in the professional world, is the same thing at home you would call to let bread rise. You want to make sure that when you lightly touch your croissant, that an indent stays in the croissant. So at that point, you kind of know it's ready. Also, you should be able to see the layers in the croissant. You'll be able to see each little layer, and you kind of know it's ready then. We bake our croissants fairly hot. They'd probably be about a 375-degree oven for 20 minutes. With a turn halfway through, and that seems to do really well. We also egg wash our croissants with yolks, a little bit of salt, and cream, and so you want it pretty bright yellow to get a dark golden brown color.